Enzo Maresca makes this one big appeal in the summer window. And my friends, we have some massive developing stories that have broken today. So you can't afford to go anywhere, my guys. I hope you enjoy the video. Show us some love, hit that like button. And I'll be catching you guys tomorrow with the preview for our massive must-win game against Liverpool. So stay tuned on Blue Lions TV, my guys. Hope you enjoy. And let's get straight into things. Let's talk these latest updates involving Jamie Bynoe-Gittens. Now, Christian Falk from Germany has come out to give us some more insight and context developing around the story. And long story short, let's get straight into it. But there's growing reports that we may see a swap deal involving Chukwuemeka and Bynoe-Gittens. Now, it probably won't be swap for swap based on just historical context of that never ever happening. But more realistically, it would probably be two separate deals that overall work in the benefits of both clubs. Now, Chukwuemeka is becoming a bit of a fan favourite now at Dortmund, but there seems to be a little catch in terms of Dortmund's ability to secure him at the end of his loan spell. Now, there is a clause in his loan deal which allows Dortmund to sign him for 35 mil euros, which is... For Chukwuemeka, yeah, 35 mil euros, bro. Like what? 27 million pounds. That's not bad whatsoever. However, Dortmund would have to activate this before the Club World Cup. And at the moment, Dortmund are struggling, and their original plan was to use their earnings from competing in the Club World Cup to help aid with transfer deals. But not all hope is lost just yet. Dortmund are currently 6th in the Bundesliga table, and they're only 3 points off a Champions League spot. Naturally, if they can get and secure Champions League football, they have the funds to invest and everything's good. Now, turning to Bynoe-Gittens, internally there are some people within our club who really rate this talent, Joe Shields, and would love to see him come back to the football club. Now, in my opinion, I feel like there could be some, I don't want to use the word common sense, but let's say there's some logic behind exploring a move for Bynoe-Gittens. Number one, it allows us to have an additional attacking reinforcement in time for the Club World Cup. Number two, Kenda arrives next year, and this kid already has 50 appearances at 17 years old, and he will probably blow up even more next season. And it's incredible that we secured his services. So in the club's opinion, they may feel, you know what, if we commit to signing like a first team, like number one star at left wing, could that potentially affect Kenda? Because when Kenda signed for us, he didn't sign for us to be a competition guy. He signed because he thought we would be the best club to continue his development and get him to his, very likely world-class level. And that has to be respected. So from the club's perspective, do they see it as Sancho, Bynoe-Gittens remaining here for next season, Sancho then leaving, and then from next year, Kenda and Bynoe-Gittens being the number one options down that left wing? It does make some sense in terms of the timing, the mutual benefits between both clubs, and the fact that, we have medium to long-term solutions secured. And we could get this wrapped up pretty quickly because Bynoe-Gittens has been training by himself at the moment and is very likely to be leaving. But I'm going to end it on this point, and I want you guys to really remember this. If there's been one theme over the last month when it comes to reporting news, you keep hearing talks, because we're in the talking stage of the summer window because the season is not over. Clubs' fates have not been decided yet. But once there is clarity behind these positions, we can leave the talking stage and start really pushing forward now and making deals happen. And I'll be curious to see who we end up sailing with on the left flank, because we have also been holding contact and talks with your Yildises and many other targets and players. And if Reva just continues this point I think about of who gets final executive decision power when it comes to deciding on these targets. Now, what's your thoughts and opinions on this story? Because this endpoint leads us on very nicely now to the second reports. And we talk Enzo Maresca and his post-match comments after yesterday's 4-1 drubbing of your Gardens. And Naturally, with us playing Liverpool at home this weekend, talks kind of focused post-match on us doing the guard of honor to respect them. Yes, I like that tradition. Maresca respects that, etc., etc. And naturally, the conversation then steered to the gap between us and Liverpool. And that gap basically being what is stopping us being a title winning style team, not even challenging. And this is where Maresca believes there is still a big gap between ourselves and Liverpool. But we are moving in the right direction. We are getting closer to closing the gap. But as he suggested, we could probably accelerate closing this gap more by making the right moves in this market, with Maresca being yet again another manager at this football club, stressing the benefits behind turning towards experience. Experience, experience, experience. I've said a million times, experience, it supports, it aids, and number one, it makes the youth players better. This is the power behind having the right experience in your team. Now, I've discussed reports from the English media suggesting that the club are not opposed to making moves for the right style of experience that can really just take the team to the next level. Is that just briefings, which we know that our boards are not opposed to doing? Or is there something tangible behind this? Because I've said this before, if we want to start making steps now to start winning things, the manager's demands have to kind of be met at times. And I do think that Maresca would probably love to have experience in the forms like a Van Dijk's, Alisson's, etc., etc. Not those players per se, but that type of element he could have in his squad, because that could really help us. Like I was saying, it still feels like we're at this crossroads between the direction at our football club. Is the grand plan to buy all the best emerging 5-star level talents, get them signed on long-term deals, and literally just forget the next 3 to 5 years, because you're thinking about the next 10, and you're thinking once these guys get to their 23-year-old, 4, 5, 6, whatever stages, we're going to have a team that's ready. And these guys can't even leave us because we own them based on the long-term deals they sign. Or on the other hand, are there still ambitions to win? Or thirdly, do we think we can have our cake and eat it? Because I'm more inclined to believe we're in a have our cake and eat it style situation. And this is where I see some flaws behind this type of modern recruitment. I think it's going a bit overboard in terms of buying for the future. We need to focus on the now. And when you look at even teams who have been synonymous with, being youth havens, Brighton, Borussia Dortmund, did these teams not have experience there? Are we not seeing Welbeck and Dunk on a weekly basis? Did they not make moves to sign James Milner to have in their squad, Lallana's, etc., etc.? I mean, look at Dortmund, Grosser, Guirassy. They've had Hummels. I mean, Julian Brandt's still there. There's so many examples you can turn to. And to even apply it to us in that famous 1920 season, which was the birth of Cobham grads and stars, did that squad not have Jorginho, Cover? Did it not have Rudiger? Did it not have Willian, who played probably his best season for us then? And without that level of balance in the experience at the time, would we have got Champions League football that season if we're only relying upon first form James and Mounts and Tammys? Absolutely not. And this is where we need to be very selective. I've been stressing this in the window. We must be selective, because my fear is rivals around us continue to outpace us because they're not looking towards winning in the next 5 years. They're turning towards doing that right now. And I think this could have a negative impact on our young team and our young squad, because how I see it is pretty simple. They are playing for a team like us who traditionally, the fan base only has expectations to win and be successful. So no matter what age you are, unfortunately, it means that you will forever be compared to that winning standard. And when you're not winning, this is where I feel that type of pressure could maybe impact young, emerging, exciting talents, especially when you might be creating a culture of not winning because, your strategy didn't take into account just how long that's going to take. These players will forever be judged by that mantra that us in the fan base have got used to and hold on to very, very dearly. We're not a mid-table club where you're just happy to be there for the rides. Yeah, to end things, man, I accept that we are going to make purchases for some youth talent. Some of them I can understand, but it can't be the whole window. It can't be dominated by the entire window. This is where I have some reservations and worries. And this is where it forever comes down to who really has that executive power and decision making. Because at the moment, we have a lot of power on the top that is kind of being dispersed. You're seeing like your Stewarts can sign players he wants. Winsley can get the players he wants. Joe Shields can throw in recommendations. And at the moment, we've seen some bright promise behind constructing a squad based on the opinions of like 3 or 4 people. If you're going to include the 4th person as the data analysis team, that we've said we want to be that type of club. But it even feels like they don't even get like executive power decision making, even though that was what they were hired to do and bring. Make of that what you will. But you know, if you want to really unify the fan base, get everyone fully behind you, this must be the main thing that's clarified now. We must understand that. And this next summer window is the perfect platform and opportunity to really showcase what this club is trying to be right now. So, yeah, a bit of a long one, but I thought there was a big conversation around this, my guys. So please share your thoughts and opinions on this. For the sake of just the depth of this conversation, I am in fact going to split this video up now, and I'm going to release another news video later on because, yeah, I know I want to give you guys the power to either watch one video or 2 if you want to, but if I'm making this like 25 minutes long, yeah, I think you guys got things to do. You probably haven't had dinner yet. Yeah, I can't be disrespecting your time like that. But yeah, really get involved in the conversation on the final point now in terms of experience and what are your expectations for the football club this summer? Please let us know below and let us know the type of players you would like to see in the comments. So I'll catch you guys very shortly. Cool.